You're tuned to WMIC AM 660, 95.3 FM. It is Thumb Sportsline. We still continue the show here on St. Lake Broadcasting. It just will not end, nor will our season end. I am Eddie Fury, your co-host, along with Mike Gallagher of the St. Lake County News. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Eddie. They want to stop us, but they can't.
Hey, Gloria.
Can't stop us.
Obviously, Gloria Gaynor is inspiring everybody because they will survive, and we got some teams that have survived into the playoffs.
Wow, that's a deep cut right there, man.
High school girls basketball still in play after last night. We had double coverage, the boys basketball, and our Thumb Sports Writers Association coverage area teams, the Harbor Beach Pirates, are playing tonight at SC4 in Port Huron. So
I'll be listening to that one, yeah.
Yeah, that game will get underway about 7 o'clock, probably right after we're done with the show here, because less teams to talk about.
Right. But still a lot of teams to talk about.
Yeah, the Yale Bulldog girls, first of all, fell against Warren Regina last night in the regional semifinal. Mm-hmm. Congrats on Yale winning district title, BWAC co-champs. Their season ends. Sadie Dykstra would now be running for Michigan Wolverines when she's done with high school. So congrats to her and the whole team. Jason Leonard doing a heck of a job there with the Yale Bulldog girls team, so shout out to them. They still have pretty good deep, too. They're going to be pretty decent next season,
I'm sure they'll be fine, yeah.
The Crosby-Lexington Pioneers did bow out in the districts, and they lost to Emily City in the semifinals. That's who Yale beats in the semifinals. Yeah,
and Emily City kind of gave Yale a game in the district final. I think
did.
They were up early, but it's tough to knock off Yale.
It's funny how the teams start to really step it up, knowing this is our last game.
Right.
This is our last game.
Right.
You step it up. Of course, several other teams fell in the district semifinals, and we had our district championship games on Friday. And our remaining teams consist of the Sandusky Wolves. Are you surprised? I'm not.
No.
The Deckerville Eagles finally crossed that. They
beat Ubley.
Yeah, they finally beat Ubley Bearcats. Got that monkey off their back after 4 straight seasons of losing to the Ubley Bearcat girls for a district title. And now they're in a regional championship game after last night defeating Clarkson Evers Collegiate. We'll talk about that game when we get to it. The Cassidy Redhawks win over Lakeville. Great win for them to move on to the regional championship game against Sandusky. We'll have Sandusky and Cass City for the regional championship game at Burton Bendel. Great facility there.
Yep.
Jeremy Burgess doing the live play-by-play there the last couple of weeks has been a great job there with the engineering producer Sean Cantwell here from St. Lake Broadcasting.
Yeah, I was unable to make it to the Sandusky game last night. We had a deadline, went a little bit late, and couldn't quite make the trip to Burton. But I had the opportunity to listen to Jeremy, and man, he's fantastic. I got to give him kudos. It can be hard, calling a game by yourself.
Yes.
I mean, only Eddie Fury can do that.
Believe me, it's hard.
Yeah,
I had troubles last night already.
He did a great job. I usually listen to you guys during pregame, and then I head into the gym. I don't get to listen to you guys during the games, but man, he's fantastic. He's really grown as a broadcaster.
Yeah,
he's got the knowledge, and he's finally kind of settling in, and he's found his groove. It was very impressive.
And I believe he's getting married this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
You believe he is? Or
yes.
Okay.
He's getting married, so congratulations.
I hope he is, yeah.
And he's going to inherit 3 girls.
Yeah.
4 girls plus the wife here, soon-to-be wife. So, great job for him. And he'll be doing the game tomorrow.
Fantastic.
That you probably be attending tomorrow. So
yes.
Yeah. Myself, I'll be back at Akron Fairgrove High School. A shout to Andrew Bouvet, our host, the athletic director, / many other positions in a small school like that.
Yes.
We'll have the Deckerville Eagles, a rubber band matchup against the Kingston Cardinal girls tomorrow night. That will be on WTGV 97.7. The Sandusky Wolves and Cass City game will be on WBGV 92.5. If you can't tune it in once you get outside the area, don't worry. We're streaming online at StLakeBroadcasting.com. So there you go. So there we go right there. Those are the teams remaining.
So the Thumb is guaranteed 2 regional champions, whether it be Cass City, Sandusky, Kingston, Deckerville.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, regional championships.
Yeah. The team is going to be in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Our Thumb Sports Writers Association team is going to be in the quarterfinals. One of them. 2 of them.
And we've kind of been blessed these past couple years.
Yeah.
So, you don't want to take it for granted. But
when you're used to going to the quarterfinals like me and my past Thumb tailgater coverage,
right.
I was always at the quarterfinals or a semifinal.
Right.
It's like, big deal.
Yeah. But you think about it, Sandusky's won 3 regional titles in a row. But prior to that streak, they hadn't won a regional title since 1999. So, I mean, we're kind of living right through the heyday of a great run for the Sandusky Wolves.
Yeah.
Kingston Cardinals, Kingston scored 60 points in the first half last night. I mean, they're incredible. Deckerville, I'm so happy that they were able to put it all together against Double finally.
Yeah.
When I saw that first half score, I was getting a little bit nervous, but we'll get into that a little bit. But I'm extremely happy for the Deckerville Eagles finally getting past Ubley and Cass City. I mean, Cass City, we kind of knew all season.
Yeah.
When they're at full strength, they're a very, very good team.
When you're at full Ignash.
Yes. When you have your starting five intact, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But when you look at Sandusky Cass City, they played at the end of the regular season. You have to take into context the fact that the Ignash sisters did not play in that game. Now, it was a pretty maybe not lopsided win, but a pretty convincing win for Sandusky. But this is, it's only been 2 weeks since that game, and this is a completely different Cass City team. So you can't really just say, oh, well, Sandusky beat them in the regular season, so Sandusky's going to, win the regional championship. But, I mean, it's a very exciting week, Eddie.
Yeah. So we got about 3.5 minutes here. Let's go through this high school boys basketball. Harbor Beach did win over Sandusky in the regional semifinal. Harbor Beach ended up winning in double overtime over Flint International Academy, or International Academy of Flints, in double overtime.
Yep.
But Sandusky really gave them a great game there.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game. And if you look at the final score, it was a
55-45,
10-point game.
Yeah.
And, the fact that, they lost when they played Harbor Beach during the regular season, they played them twice. It was 2 20-point losses.
Yeah.
And, there was a point in the second quarter where Sandusky went on a bit of a run. I believe they got it within 2.
Yeah.
And you're kind of thinking, okay, they can kind of hang around. And the reason Sandusky was able to hang around with Harbor Beach was they were so gritty. If there was a loose ball, they were on the floor. And they tried to close the gap talent-wise between Harbor Beach and Sandusky by, getting those loose balls, getting the jump balls, getting extra possessions. And, it was really a great effort, especially with it being such a young team. We've talked about him during the regular season, but Blake Oswald, man, he was fantastic. I thought he was really impressive against Harbor Beach.
Yep.
Great experience for the Sandusky team. They did have a solid group of seniors. But when you look at the key playmakers in that game, a majority are going to be returning for the Sandusky team.
This is going to look good.
So this was kind of...
And it really came together in the last couple of games with the district championship game.
Yes.
Jack Betts turning the corner.
Yep.
The maturity with him in the last... Astounding here in the second half of the season.
Right. And obviously, Sandusky they wanted to beat Harbor Beach, but the fact that they were in a regional semifinal, I think was just a huge building block for this program. And now, next season they can say, hey, we were here before, and, the moment's not going to be too big for us. Not that it was this year. I think Sandusky definitely rose to the occasion. But I got to give a ton of kudos to Harbor Beach. I hadn't had the opportunity to watch them play during the regular season, but Skylar Cruz was impressive.
Yes.
Benson Harper, of course, and it was kind of a tale of two halves, where it was Skylar Cruz in the first half, and then it was Benson Harper in the second half. And then you got Matt Geiger out there, and Andrew Caban. Well, he didn't score much. I mean, he was all over the floor. He was great defensively. Ron Rubel is just a fantastic coach. That's the first regional title for Ron Rubel. That's kind of hard to believe.
Yeah.
But I thought it was kind of interesting because he did a post-game interview on WLEW Sports Network, and it was Clark Ramsey and Mark Gainforth, of course, the legendary USA coach.
Wait, he actually talked to somebody else than me?
Yeah, yes.
Because usually he'll come talk to me.
Yeah,
no
yeah. So,
it's a rare moment to hear Ron Rubel do an interview. So.
Yes, well, yeah, and he's one of my favorite interviews because, he's so insightful and everything, but he's so soft-spoken, and he's not very emotional. Like, you couldn't even tell that they had won a regional championship, but, he made note of the fact that, there was a lot of times where their season was ended by Mark Gainforth and the USA Patriots. There was a lot of great battles between those two teams back in the day in districts. Harbor Beach has probably had teams with the ability to win regional championships, but you lose in districts because you have to play Mark Gainforth in the USA Patriots. But I'm just really happy for Ron. He's a great guy. And it was such a gutty win. Benson Harper, 30 points. That's all you can ask for from your star player. But Sandusky, going into it, I wasn't sure what to expect because we had seen during the regular season, we saw Sandusky was able to play with Harbor Beach for a quarter, but then it kind of slipped away in the second and third quarters. And then by the time the fourth quarter rolled around, it was pretty much over. But there was, moments in the fourth quarter where Sandusky, was a bucket away from cutting it to single digits. It was a great atmosphere, great game. And, I'm really excited about the future for Sandusky. Cause, obviously Harbor Beach, I hope they go all the way to the state finals, but, next season, they're going to lose a lot of seniors and the reign of terror in the Greater Thumb East, the Big Thumb Black, division. I think it might be over for Harbor Beach. And I think maybe it's time for Sandusky to step up into that top spot, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. This season isn't even over yet. I'm looking forward to listening to Harbor Beach, play tonight. I'm half tempted to go down to SC4.
I know.
That's a great.
They're taking on Arts Academy of Pontiac, right?
Yes. And they scored 100 plus in their regional final game, so it's going to be a tough one. But this is a great Harbor Beach team. They have size all over the floor, and I think that's what the difference was. Because when you have Matt Geiger out there, and you have Benson Harper, and you have Andrew Caban, it's really hard to focus in on one player. And it seemed like Skylar Cruz was always there on an offensive putback, or he would get a big block or a transition bucket, and I think he was the key difference maker in that game. But if you're Sandusky, I think you have to be really happy with the effort.
All right, good luck to Harbor Beach tonight. Taking on Arts and Technology Academy of Pontiac at SE4 in Port Huron. Tip off at 7 p.m. tonight. Of course, when you hear the replay, the game will be over.
We can wrap up the show, and then we can turn on the radio and listen to Clark. Okay.
All right. That is a quick, what we're going to overview, what we're going to talk about, and what we already did there. So good luck. You'll see the full write-up of that Sandusky-Harbor Beach game in the paper of the St. Lake County News tomorrow's edition.
Yep.
So check it out. We're going to be back here, and we'll go through a rundown of the wrestlers, individuals at Ford Field that you were at. We'll be right back here on WMIC.
All across the Thumb and Blue Water area, there's one propane supplier that's ready to serve you. It's Kohler Propane, with locations in Brown City, Memphis, and Bad Axe. Kohler Propane, where they strive to keep your fuel bill down and provide you with the best possible service. They guarantee their propane prices for 1 full year. There's free tank inspection and free safety inspection, plus keep full and budget plans are available. If you are not a current Kohler customer, now's the time to make the switch and call Kohler's. Whether it's propane for your home's heating system or for your farm or business, they're ready to serve you. Remember, Kohler's covers the entire Thumb and Blue Water area. For information, call toll-free 800-572-2191. That's 800-572-2191. Or visit getkohlers.com. Remember, nobody gives you gas like Kohler's. Tri-County Equipment is your premier farm supplier, providing John Deere products and services to farmers, homeowners, and landscapers from 11 locations across eastern and mid-Michigan. Tri-County Equipment has a complete line of John Deere tractors, cutters, and shredders, planting, seeding, and tillage tools, along with hay and forage equipment. They also have residential equipment like John Deere riding and walking mowers and compact utility tractors. At Tri-County Equipment, they don't just sell high-quality equipment, they also provide factory-trained personnel who can help with service and answer questions about equipment use. Tri-County Equipment, locations in Sandusky, Marlette, Lapeer, Burton, Bad Axe, Carroll, Fenton, Birch Run, Saginaw, Reese, and Auburn Hills. Visit them online at tricountyequipment.com.
You asked and we listened. The Google Pixel has officially arrived at Thumb Cellular. The Google Pixel 10 and the Pixel 9a, both in sleek obsidian black, are now available at Thumb Cellular, and both at incredibly low prices. Pixel features the purest form of Android, built by Google and powered by Google. It's backed by an industry-leading 7 years of updates, so your phone stays smarter longer. Inside, you get the power of the Google Tensor chip and built-in Gemini AI, helping you take better photos, stay organized, and get more done every day. But that's not all. If you're looking for something else, Thumb Cellular is offering free phones with an upgrade or a new line activation. Terms and conditions apply. Stop by your local Thumb Cellular office in Bad Axe, Carroll, Pigeon, or Sandusky for full details. And browse all our current offers and savings by visiting thumbcellular.com/deals. That's thumbcellular.com/deals. Thumb Cellular, the talk of the thumb since 1991.
We interrupt this broadcast for a special graph weather statement.
Icy roads equal vehicle mishaps, and if this happens, you might as well take it to the #1 collision department in the area, Graf Chevrolet of Sandusky. Our body shop technicians are experienced and ready to tackle any body damage thrown their way, whether it's collision or a deer hit. Graf can get the job done quickly and get you back on the road. Graf works well with all insurance companies and on all makes and models, so why would you go anywhere else? Stop in and see Tina or Zach at Graf Chevrolet's Body Shop in Sandusky for your no-obligation estimate.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled program.
Welcome back here on WMIC AM 660 95.3 FM. It's Thumb Sportsline. A quick run through here. Another mention here in high school boys basketball. The Yale Bulldog boys fell in the regionals.
Regional finals, correct?
Yes, they made it to the regional championship.
They beat
game.
Goodrich. Yeah,
That's a big good win for them.
Well, and they were in it with Detroit Country Day, which you hear that name and you're like, oh man, Detroit Country Day.
Yeah.
And
they led in that game.
They led in that game. They didn't let the game get out of hand until pretty late in the game. Country Day started to pull away, but man, it is so hard to win regional titles at that level because you run into just crazy teams. I remember when Croslex won its regional title. You have to play Goodrich, you have to play Pontiac Notre Dame Prep, and then you end up playing Ferndale, and there's just some crazy talented teams at that level. So it's tough for Yale to lose that, but even the fact that they beat Goodrich, I thought was incredibly impressive. Great career for Jackson Kohler.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was a focal point for the Country Day defense. But great season for Yale. Kind of sad to see Jackson's career come to a close. I remember we were watching him as a freshman. We were like, man, he's gonna be pretty special. But yeah, great season for Yale, and similar to Sandusky, they really put it together at the end of the season. And you can go all the way back to that overtime loss to Croslex. Something just clicked with Yale, where after that they're beating BWAC teams on a regular basis by 30 points. And it doesn't matter which team it is. They were winning big. They won the last 2 games against Croslex, including the district final. So great season for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Jackson Kohler had 21 points in the regional semifinal win, 51-48, 3-point win over Goodrich to get to the regional championship game. But they did fall to Detroit Country Day, 53-36. They did lead in that game. And also, I do believe he is the BWAC MVP, Jackson Kohler.
Oh, I would imagine he is, yeah. There's a good chance. 4.7
rebounds per game, 4.3 assists per game, 3-pointers, 73, I think he made.
Okay.
That's 46%, not bad.
Yeah.
Free throws, 51% shooting, 21.3 points per game. The overall record for Yale, 23-3 overall. They did take on some competition. That's why they had some of those losses. Most wins at 23, regular season wins at 20, BWAC wins 13, 275 steals, 375 assists for the Yale Bulldogs as a team. BWAC champs, co-champs with the Croslex Pioneers and district champions.
Make sure you mention that co-champs.
With the Croslex Pioneers. But they are district champions and made it to the regional championship game, falling to Detroit Country Day. Great season for the Bulldogs. And this team will be back. They got a few good players next season. Yeah, there's still Kohler in that team, Landon Kohler, the younger brother.
Yep.
All right, real quick here. We had wrestling going on. You were at Ford Field where many Lions players were walking out the door and leaving the team. But we had wrestlers walking in to get some placement accomplishments in the state finals with some Thumb area wrestlers.
Yeah, we had 9 wrestlers from Sanilac County competing, and 3 of them ended up on the podium, which that's pretty good percentage, Eddie.
Yeah.
Dustin Junga from Croslex, he was our top finisher. He was 4th in the Division II 175 weight class. Antonio Gonzalez from Croslex, he was 5th in the Division II 150-pound weight class. And Aiden Pascal from Brown City, he finished 6th in the Division IV 120-pound weight class. For Pascal, he took the hardest path to the podium because he actually lost his very first match of the weekend on Friday. He lost a 13-12 decision in his very first match. So from there, you got to work your way through the consolation bracket, and that's exactly what he did. He won in his first consolation match. He won 19-3 at Tech Fall, and then he won a 5-1 decision against the number 6 seed in the second round of consolation, and then he pinned the number 3 seed in the third round of consolation competition. He eventually lost in the consolation semifinals, 16-1 Tech Fall loss. But it's always impressive to see a kid be able to do that. We saw Turlo Bennett do something similar where you lose early on, and it could be deflating, but there's still so much wrestling left. So for Pascal, that's a fantastic showing. He's only a junior, so he'll have the opportunity to be back next year. For Junga and Gonzalez, it was kind of the opposite because they got off to fantastic starts. Junga in the 175-pound weight class, he won his first match, 15-9 decision against the number 6 seed. He advanced to the quarterfinal where he took on a familiar foe from Algonac. He won a 10-4 decision. Advancing to the semifinals where he lost to the eventual state champion, the number 1 seed, in a pin. And once he moved to the consolation bracket, he won a 16-1 Tech Fall victory, and then he was defeated in the 3rd place match. As for, real quick, in his first match, he was actually down pretty big, and he was able to rally and pick up a nice win there, 15-9. He actually trailed 7-0 in that match. But Gonzalez in the 150-pound weight class, it was a pretty similar path to Junga because he won his first match. He was actually trailing 5-1, and he was able to rally for a pin. In the quarterfinal, he earned a 5-4 decision. Great match. And in the semifinals, it was the same thing as Junga. He ran into the number 1 seed, the eventual state champion, and he lost a 10-3 decision, which is still a very solid match. So for Junga and Gonzalez, they both advanced to the semifinals. They both lose to the eventual state champions. So, no shame in that. Gonzalez in the 5th place match, he earned an 8-4 decision. So great showing for those guys. As for our other wrestlers down there, Ryan McKenney picked up a win. Bree Adame picked up a win. And I believe that is it. Taking a look at my notes here, but just a great weekend of wrestling. It's always great to see kids make it onto the podium, and especially with the paths that the 3 took and the differences and similarities between them.
So that wraps up wrestling, right?
That wraps up wrestling, yep.
The season's over for that.
Season's over, yep.
All right, congrats. All right, good job, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you.
You have the info there in the Sanilac County News?
That will be in next week's edition.
Next week's edition.
Yeah, okay. Ran out of space this week with basketball and some other things. So we'll be holding off on the wrestling coverage until next week's edition.
All right, this is Thumb Sportsline. We'll be back in the 6 o'clock hour after your news and information here on WMIC AM 660, 95.3 FM. We're streaming online at CNXBroadcasting.com or find the replay on Spotify. As an impatient guy from Peck said, I want my Thumb Sportsline. That's always great to hear.
Yes, it is.
We'll be right back here on WMIC. Welcome back here on WMIC 95.3 FM. It is Thumb Sportsline for this March 10th, 2026. High school boys basketball regionals. Last week we did talk about Sandusky, Harbor Beach. Sandusky falls to Harbor Beach. Harbor Beach wins over in double overtime International Academy of Flint, and now they're taking on Arts and Tech Academy of Pontiac at 7 p.m. at SE4 in Port Huron in the quarterfinal game. So pretty awesome for them. In the regionals, also for boys basketball, I think I have it up here. We did talk about Yale losing to Detroit Country Day. Great season for them. The other team was Ubly Bearcats. They made it to the regional championship game. Waterford Our Lady Lakes won by 1 point over Kingston. And Ubly wins over Marine City Carnamooney 70-61. And Ubly was in that game, but they come up short by 5 points, losing to Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes in the Regional 32 Championship game in Division 4 boys basketball. So, great. I mean, they came out of nowhere. They come in here. That was a pretty tough regional there.
Yeah, absolutely.
As it was. Yeah. So, great for Ubly. And I think that's another contender come next season.
I mean, yeah.
DeAndre Morris, great first year as head coach. I remember him when he was at North Huron. Yes. So he did a good job there in his first season.
Yeah.
So
you got Morris at Ubly, you got Hale at Sandusky, and 3 teams from the Big Thumb Conference Black Division made it to the regional semifinals, at least Ubly, Sandusky, and Harbor Beach. So
busy week for the Thumb Sports Writers Association last week. On top of that, we had girls basketball. So in the districts, in Division 264 at Emily City High School, in the championship game is the Yale Bulldogs over Emily City. As Yale moved on to that regional semifinal, they did lose to Warren Regina last night. And a credit goes out to that girls basketball team, as we mentioned. Great season. BWAC champs for Armada. Sadie Dykstra in the loss to Warren Regina, 58-39, had 19 points.
Not bad.
Casey Hagen, 8 points. Aubrey Churchill and Ariel Runnels each had 6 points in a loss to Warren Regina. So, BWAC champs and district champs.
Not bad.
Yeah. Also, in district play, we had Lakeville defeat Reese Rocket Girls in the district championship game, 34-18. Lakeville lost to Cass City last night in the regional semifinal to the Cass City Red Hawk Girls. We'll get to that. In the District 90 championship game, it was Cass City fully strength, to beat the Carroll Tigers, who were the Big Thumb Conference White Division champions. Cass City came in at full strength and wins 61-37 over the Carroll Tigers.
Convincing win. Yeah, I was expecting a closer ball game. Yeah. I kind of figured it'd be a toss-up, but like we said earlier, this is a different Cass City team than the one that we saw during the regular season. And the one that we saw during the regular season was a great team.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty scary thought that, they could be playing better than they even were during the regular season. But yeah, great season for Carroll, conference champion. I don't think anybody had that penciled in at the beginning of the season. So great season for Carroll and Cass City getting the district championship.
All right, with the Division 4, District 127 at Owen Gage High School, the Kingston Cardinal girls defeated Caseyville in the semifinals 70-10 and just rolled over the Owen Gage Bulldogs 70-27, your final score. Molly Walker, 30 points. Vanessa Osborne, 11 points. Jessica Bowers had 11 for Owen Gage as the team just ran right through them. Expected.
Yeah.
And they at the regional semifinals, they win over Sterling Heights Parkway Christian. I do believe it was 70 points also.
Yeah.
So, and Jay Green
Kingston's rolling.
Jay Green has that for me right here. He was able to send that quickly as we were about to do our Deckerville game.
Oh, perfect.
70-41 was the final score. He pulled all his starters, brought in everybody off the bench, and Paul Adams and I noted that in our game last night with Deckerville.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that was, they scored 41 points, but I think a lot of that came in the second half when Kingston had its starters out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Kingston, we know what Kingston is, and somehow they've taken it up a notch now that the postseason has started. Obviously, with that district, going in as a heavy favorites, but you still got to go out and perform. And I mean, 70-10 in the semifinals is pretty crazy, regardless of who you're playing. But yeah, Kingston a very dangerous team right now, and I hope Deckerville is ready for them.
They are the heavy favorites here in this regional championship game against Deckerville.
Do you think they're the heavy favorites?
Kingston is.
You think so?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Molly Walker had 32 points with the win over Sterling Heights Parkway Christian last night on Monday night at Akron-Fairgrove High School in that regional semifinal. Talia Harrington had 10 points, Vanessa Osborne 9, Nora Kiley 8 for Kingston. And I love how Jay pays attention to the other team and gives them credit. Sterling Heights Parkway Christian, London Ellington led with 11 points. He always includes those notes.
Yeah.
So Kingston's still undefeated, 25-0 overall.
And I don't know exactly what her total is at right now, but Molly Walker is closing in on 2,000 career points, Eddie, which is just absolutely absurd. I believe, Scott Bowlesby did some research, and I believe she is the all-time leading scorer in girls basketball history in the thumb. She passed Adeline Moore during the regular season. When you're passing Adeline Moore for a record, that's incredibly impressive. 2,000 career points. That's just absurd. Obviously, it's a big deal when somebody scores 1,000 points. We had a couple kids do it this season, and Libby Tank, Thomas West, and Harley Leisure, and it's an incredible milestone, 1,000 career points. And Molly Walker's going out and doubling that. So pretty impressive. And Deckerville's going to have to find a way to slow her down. It's easier said than done. Yeah.
Speaking of the Deckerville Eagle girls, in districts, great win from them. They finally got that monkey off their back.
Yes.
The last time Deckerville Eagle girls won a district title was back in 2019-2020 season when they lost to Waterford Our Lady Lakes.
Yes.
Waterford Our Lady Lakes, and I was explaining to Paul Adams, somehow they had the 7-8 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing.
Okay.
There's all a connection to them to what we had last night.
Okay.
And I got it.
I like that. Yeah.
I showed him the web. And he goes, wow, that's quite a connection there.
Yeah.
Along with Genesee Christian, So.
Well, I believe that game was played at Sterling Heights Parkway Christian, was it not?
For the, for
in
what?
2019-2020, that regional against Waterford.
I'm not sure. Remember that was the COVID year because Waterford Our Lady could not play into the quarterfinals or because the season was shut down.
Okay.
So, right after that because of COVID. All right. So, anyways.
I'm going to have to look that up real quick while you're talking.
Okay.
Just to see if my memory is strong enough to go back to 2020.
Anyways, on Wednesday, Deckerville Eagle girls got the win over North Huron 42-6. And Ubly won over Peck 44-34 in the semifinals. Peck really gave it to Ubly there. They played them pretty tough there.
It was Peck came out a little bit tight in the first quarter. Ubly got out to a great start. It was a huge double-digit lead after the first quarter. But from that point on, it was a great basketball game. But it was just Peck couldn't quite get back into it. Unfortunately, they were down by too much after the first quarter. But we've talked a lot about Peck this season. Young team, Eddie. They got one senior in Allison Kramer, and that's going to be a huge loss for next season. But Aletta Jones will be back.
Yeah.
Harper Kerr will be back. It's good experience, because you're such a young team. And talking to the coach, he said, Ubly acted like they were ready for district basketball.
Yeah.
And, for Peck, it was a great learning experience. And
do you think maybe Ubly overlooked Peck a little bit here, even though they got the win?
I think they did. I think they did not. I think Ubly took care of business in the first quarter and then said, okay, now we can kind of cruise here in the final three quarters.
Well, it was just only a 10-point win. That's
right.
3 or 4 baskets right
there.
So.
I believe I wish I had my notes in front of me, but I believe it was a double-digit lead after the first quarter.
Okay. So it was 44-34 with a win for Ubly over Peck in that district semifinal. Peck, by the way, finished the season at 12-11 overall, so a winning record, including the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
for another first-year head coach, we're talking about Morris, we're talking about Hale. Great first season for head coach John Schlorkel.
Yep. So and avid listener of the show, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
and Eddie, my memory served me correctly.
Okay.
In 2020, Deckerville played Waterford Our Lady of Lakes in the regionals at Sterling Heights Parkway Christian.
Yeah. They got great bathrooms there, by the way.
Really?
Clean bathrooms, yes.
At Sterling Heights Parkway Christian?
It was funny. It was awkwardly. I went in. I was all by myself. And in walks.
I don't know if I like where this is going.
In walks the Waterford Our Lady, the coach.
Okay.
And what do you say to each other when you're in the bathroom? You know each other.
You don't say anything. No.
Good luck, coach.
Yeah.
I see you're a little nervous.
Okay.
That's it right there. So.
All right. Okay.
So,
I get nervous when you start talking about bathrooms, Eddie.
So Deckerville winning over North Huron manhandily 42-6. Maylee Tank showing up with 16 points. Libby Tank with 7. Allison Steep with 6. Bailey Theobald with 4. Myra Garza with 3. And Janelle Kineff, Marissa James, and Maya Buchholz had 2 points each in that win over North Huron. Maylee Tank also had 8 rebounds, 6 steals. Libby Tank, 5 rebounds. Maya, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 assists. Wow. And Bailey Theobald with 5 rebounds for the Deckerville Eagles. All those players right there made huge contributions to last night's game with their win in the regional championship game for the Deckerville Eagle Girls, too. Maylee Tank especially. 19 points for a slightly sore Libby Tank, who ended up scoring all her points in the regional semifinal game win over Clarkson Evers Collegiate. And by the way, first of all, let's get things out of the way. First district title for Deckerville since that 2019-2020 season.
Yep.
The next year, it was a shortened season.
Yes.
They lost to Dryden, but then 4 straight losses to the Ubly Bearcat girls for a district title. Remember covering that game last year? Everybody thought Deckerville was going to come away with it. Ubly comes in and says,
Right.
4 straight years, and this was a goal that I would say Liberty Intern Tank told me this was one of her main goals.
Yes.
Was to win a district title.
Of course, yeah.
The other one would have try to get a win over Kingston. So,
Right,
yeah.
right.
And they came close
They got
in the regular season.
Yeah.
So, and they get another chance here now in the regional championship game.
Yeah.
But with that Ubly game, Ubly still battled in that game against Deckerville.
Yeah, so I was in Brown City for Brown City Sandusky, and I received the update that it was a 12-11 halftime lead for Ubly. And I was starting to get a little bit nervous.
Yep.
Because it was the same thing that happened the year before, and the same thing that happened the year before that, and the year before that, where, nobody really thought that Ubly had a chance, and, Deckerville was the favorite, and for some reason, they just, Ubly was able to win 4 straight against Deckerville. But great halftime adjustments by Deckerville, and when I talked to Coach Kirkpatrick, he said, we didn't have to change anything defensively. You held Ubly to 12 points in the first half. That's fantastic. And I think the semifinal win against North Huron, obviously, you said 42-6, obviously lopsided win, but I think it was important that they had that defensive intensity throughout the whole game so that they could carry it into that district final against Ubly. And, so when they talked at halftime, it was just offensive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When you are talking about your offense and you're the Deckerville Eagles, it runs through Libby Tank. Libby Tank was injured in the second quarter.
Yeah. At the half.
And it just seemed like the perfect storm for Deckerville to lose again. And that would have been pretty tough to see, especially if it was because Libby suffered an injury. But the fact that she came back, led the team to the win, great second half effort from the Eagles. Libby scored all of her points in the fourth quarter. But I think when I talked to Coach Kirkpatrick, a major thing growth-wise for Libby this season was, she can count on her teammates. She didn't score until the fourth quarter of that Ubly game. And, when she has faith in her teammates to get the job done, it just it makes Deckerville a very dangerous team. But I'm just really happy for Deckerville. I'm glad they were able to do it on their home court. They were able to cut down the nets after the game.
Yep.
They kept it going last night.
So in that first quarter, Deckerville led 2-0, but then it was a quick 2-2 tie. We had 3 different ties in that game. At the end of the first quarter, it was tied 6-6. Deckerville able to take the lead at the 6:41 mark, 8-6. Ubly takes the lead with a 3-point shot at the 5-minute mark, 9-8. Another tie, 9-9, with Deckerville's making a free throw. And then Ubly took back the lead, 11-9, with a 2-point shot. Another tie. Yeah, I missed one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ties in this game. And Ubly takes the lead 12-11 at the half. Deckerville comes out of the half, as you said, after that quick talk at halftime and the adjustments. You get these role players, and this is what happened last night. 3 different players last night in the regional semifinal game for Deckerville. 3 different players, 7 points, 21 points. You take those 21 points,
right?
It's not that close.
Right.
Another role player, Allison Steve, is one of those players. Maya Garza stepped up as well. Janelle kind of shows up with 7 points as well. Well, Steve comes out in the third quarter, gives Deckerville back the lead, 13-12. You get some free throws, 14-12. I think she drew the foul on a 3-point play there.
Okay.
3-point shot by Steve at the 6:15 mark there. 17-14 after another tie. I missed another tie. 14-14 at the 6:35 mark by Peruski, tying it up, making it 14-14. I think 6 ties in this game. But Deckerville had a 17-16 lead after some free throws. And they led 20-16. The timeout was called by Ubley with about 4.5 to go. And it looks like Deckerville maintained the lead. And they had a 3-point shot as well, with making it 23-18 at the 10-second mark. So that really, fired them up there. Peruski made a 3-point shot as well. And I think the score ended up staying around 23-19 is what happened there. That was in the third quarter. She didn't make the 3-point shot. She made a free throw.
Okay.
But at the end of the third, 23-19, within 4. So Ubley's still right there by 2 shots. Deckerville continues to put the pressure on the extended lead, 25-19 at the 6:40 mark. 6-point lead. They're hanging in there. Libby Tank made some points at the 4-minute mark. Great to see that finally happen in the fourth. 27-21, 29-22, 7-point lead with 2:55 to go here. But
that's when you got to start feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, because at that point, with about 3:53 left. Only 2 more points scored by Ubley, and Deckerville ended up hanging on 33-24 for the win in the district championship game. So
Eddie, you broadcast this game. As I said, I was in Brown City watching Sandusky Brown City. When Deckerville was losing at halftime, when Libby suffered her ankle injury, what was the vibe like? What were you thinking? How were you feeling about Deckerville's chances at that point in the game?
It was like you couldn't hear.
Yeah.
It was complete silence.
Yeah.
Kind of shock.
Right.
Very worrisome, looks on everybody's faces, but country grit, country strong. Libby Tank came in, got it wrapped up, and continued to play the game there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it was great to see the fourth quarter that she had, scoring all of her points in the fourth quarter. They're helping, put Ubley away. Yeah.
She had 9 points. Her sister beat her out by 1 with 10 points herself. 8 points for Allison Steve.
That's huge, yeah.
Those are huge.
Yeah.
Role-playing, contributing shots.
Well, and it seems like Steve is always great defensively.
Yes.
And when you can get some points from her as well, that's just humongous because they can always count on her for defense. But when you're getting offense from her as well, that's huge.
All right, we're going to take a break and come back and talk about that Deckerville Regional Championship game.
Okay.
And then we have Cassidy, Sandusky teams to talk about as well. That will wrap up our show, too, because, less teams to talk about here.
Yeah.
Going to take a quick break here on WMIC. It is the Sportsline. Look at that, 20 minutes almost deep into this conversation with just talking about these 2 teams, or Deckerville in particular, in Kingston. So
there were so many storylines with the Deckerville Ubley, and, it was perfect that it lined up like that again, and I'm glad Deckerville was able to take care of business this time. And
they're not done yet. Neither is Kingston. Right. So we still got a lot.
I thought it was kind of interesting. Coach Kirkpatrick said, they didn't talk about the losing streak to Ubley.
Yeah,
that was a thing that they didn't discuss in practice. He said, it might have got brought up in passing, but when it came to Kingston, they talked about that streak. They talked about the Kingston's winning streak. When it came to Ubley, they didn't talk about it. He said, I've got seniors on this team that have lost to Ubley 3 years in a row, and you don't need to talk about it. They know. They knew what was at stake, and they came through and got the district title.
All right, still Decker will talk because we got the regional semifinal game to talk about. Still Sandusky, Cassidy, who are going to meet up tomorrow, Wednesday, for the regional championship game. We'll be right back here on WNIC. It is Thumb Sportsline on 95.3 FM, streaming online, SandLakeBroadcasting.com. Replay later online.
Our forecast for the rest of this Tuesday. It'll remain mostly cloudy with possibly some spotty drizzle. Highs of 51 to 55. Tonight, showers develop late in the evening, lows 36 to 39. Cloudy Wednesday with some showers and thunderstorms, highs 45 to 48. And then for Thursday, partly to mostly cloudy, spotty rain, highs 40 to 42. For the WMIC and WTGV 24-hour weather center, I'm meteorologist John McMurray.
The King of Cars.
This is Denny King, the King of Cars, with More Motors of Caro. Why choose More Motors of Caro? Because you get more for your money with More Motors of Caro.
More Motors in Caro.
You get award-winning service before, during, and after the sale. You get fair trade offers. You get transparency. and most importantly, trust.
Denny King, the king of cars.
At More Motors of Caro, we take pride in building relationships that last a lifetime. It's customer service that makes the difference. Why would you settle for anywhere else when you can have the best?
More Motors in Caro.
Choose More Motors of Caro and get more for your money. This is Denny King, the king of cars.
Denny King.
With a selection of Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, you owe it to yourself to come see why your friends and neighbors have been driving to Caro for over 60 years. Located on the west side of Caro on M81, come say hi to Denny King, the king of cars.
Liberals and Liberty Lane Sandusky salutes the area athletes for their accomplishments in academic achievements. On your way to or from the game, come on into Liberty Lanes for a pizza or one of the many tasty entrees on the menu. Enjoy the Friday fish specials and come back for the Sunday brunch. Liberty Lanes also has banquet facilities available. For information or to place an order to go, call 810-648-9860. That's 810-648-9860. Liberty Lanes, your family dining and bowling center in West Park, Sandusky. Serving you for more than 40 years. You can find Liberty Lanes on Facebook.
Phew, okay, I'm almost done with this report, then I can finally go to sleep. Your PC has encountered a fatal error?
If your computer's memory failed right now, what data would you lose? Photos, financial records, customer files, years of work, all gone in an instant.
Wait, all my files are they're just gone!
Don't let this happen to you. With data retention solutions from the EBS Tech Team, your data is protected and always accessible. And data loss doesn't just happen from hardware failure. It can come from human error or the unthinkable, like a fire or a flood. That's why the ABS Tech Team's data retention solutions automatically back up your files to secure, off-site storage with no extra equipment needed. And it's all backed by the professional local support you've come to expect from the EBS Tech Team. Get peace of mind for an affordable cost. Call the EBS Tech Team today to find out more. 888-282-4943 or stop by our Pigeon or Sandusky locations. The ABS Tech Team, supporting your tech needs since 2008.
All across the Thumb and Blue Water area, there's one propane supplier that's ready to serve you. It's Kohler Propane, with locations in Brown City, Memphis, and Bad Axe. Kohler Propane, where they strive to keep your fuel bill down and provide you with the best possible service. They guarantee their propane prices for 1 full year. There's free tank inspection and free safety inspection, plus keep full and budget plans are available. If you are not a current Kohler customer, now's the time to make the switch and call Kohler's. Whether it's propane for your home's heating system or for your farm or business, they're ready to serve you. Remember, Kohler's covers the entire Thumb and Blue Water area. For information, call toll-free 800-572-2191. That's 800-572-2191. Or visit getkohlers.com. Remember, nobody gives you gas like Kohler's.
All right, welcome back here on WMIC 95.3 FM. Thumb Sportsline, Eddie Fury Review, along with Mike Gallagher. And a little bit also in this hour, we're going to be joined by Sean Cantwell, producer engineer, and co-play-by-play with Jeremy Burgess on the Sandusky game, too. So he'll be joining us.
Co-play-by-play.
Yes.
Or
color. Producing. Engineering. But you know what?
I believe that's called color commentary.
We'll talk about this.
Okay.
Yeah, I got something to know. Anyways, here we go. Continue our regional championship talk. We mentioned Kingston's win over Sterling Heights Parkway Christian. Let's talk about this game with Dackerville. Great win for this team. Again, country grit and strong here against Clarkston Everest Collegiate. And I'm going to admit, we noted that Clarkston Everest Collegiate had over 3 players at 6 foot or near 6 foot
really
on this team. They had a lot of hype, a lot of good speed out there. But Dackerville opened up with a scoring quick. Janelle Kineff out of nowhere shoots a 3-pointer from the left corner to start the game off.
That's quite the way to start the game. I mean, that's a huge confidence booster right there.
Right at the opening seconds of the game. And then the Mountaineer girls able to answer back at the 7-minute mark, making it 3-2. Janelle kind of said, hold on, I'll shoot another 2 here. 5-2 at the 6-minute mark. Again, those role-playing or those players are going to take those shots. 3 different players of 7 points, as I said, in this game. You take those 21 points away, it's not 57-45. It ends up being 50.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Yikes. With my math, it ends up being...
You should have tallied that up before we went back on.
It ends up being 21 points away. That's
a lot of
10,
points. How about that?
-10, it's 47. Another -10, that's 37. And -1, that's 36 to 45 right there. You
go.
You don't have those points,
There you go.
Okay, it's a different game. Anyways, in this game, Deckerville leading them 5-4 at the 5:40 mark, and then Clarkson Everest took their lead. 5:20 to go with 6-5. Steve shows up to get the lead back for Deckerville 7-6, and they tried to extend the lead, and they do. A 3-point shot by Melee Tank makes it 12-6, and 17-10 with 2 minutes to go. Deckerville maintaining this lead at the end of the first is 20-14. Deckerville feeling pretty good there, Mike, with the lead 20-14 at that point.
Yeah, I mean, and going into this game, I wasn't sure what to expect because we don't know anything about Clarkson Everest. We can look at their schedule and we can look at who they played and who beat who and all that. But until you get the ball out on the court and play, you don't really know. So for Deckerville's offense to score 20 points in the first quarter, especially after scoring 11 points in the first half against Ubley, that's huge. Now, the second quarter went a little bit cold.
Ooh, boy. Well, Deckerville started off pretty hot. They ended up scoring first, 22-14. 8-point lead right there. 7:15 mark, though. Clarkson Everest Collegiate is known to climb those mountains, Mm-hmm. They've been to Mount Fuji. They've been to the Porcupine Mountains here in Michigan.
Okay.
They were looking for the summit here, and it looks like they did because that's why they're called the Mountaineers. They started to chip away. 6:40 mark.
That's why they're the Mountaineers?
Yes.
Okay.
Started to chip away. 22-16 at 7:15 mark. 6:40 mark, 22-18. Within 22-21, Elena Neiman at the 3:45 mark. And then Mary Groves comes in and takes the lead for Clarkson Everest, 23-22. A free throw after she converts a 3-point play with 2 minutes to go. It's 24-22. Notice Deckerville's score is stuck at 22 there.
Mm-hmm.
Clarkson Everest extending their lead, 28-22 with 40 seconds to go. So Deckerville did not score for over 7+ minutes. In fact, they only scored 2 points, just 2 points in that second period.
What do you think was the reason for that? Was Clarkson doing something, or was Deckerville? What was going on in that quarter for Everest to go on a 16-2?
Not taking care of the ball.
Okay, turnovers.
Have you seen Deckerville where they don't take care of the ball? They get cold. You got to take care of the ball. You can't dribble away and let that ball out far away from you.
Right.
Clarkson Everest Collegiate just kept coming in and stealing it away.
Okay.
Deckerville did too, but they couldn't make shots.
Right.
They were starting to hit bricks here.
Okay.
So 30-22 at the half right there. Clarkson Everest Collegiate's feeling good themselves. After they were down 20-14, they hold the lead 30-22 at the end of the half here.
34-22.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
12-point.
Yes. Yeah. So in the third quarter, Clarkson Everest maintaining the lead, 32-24. But then Melee Tank wakes up, makes a couple threes, gets him back in the game, 32-29. Melee Tank again with another 3-point shot, ties it up, 32-32. Deckerville did not give up in this game. They ended up getting the lead back, 34-32. Another tie, 34-34. Steve contributing, 36-34 at the 3:15 mark. Garza makes a big 3-point shot at the end of the third with about a minute left, 39-34. There you go. Deckerville holds that lead. What a comeback in that quarter. Sometimes Deckerville will crumble after a bad quarter. This time they didn't. They regrouped in that period, in the third period, and came back and took the lead.
Yeah, and I'm since I wasn't at the game, all I can do is look at the box score, and I see Deckerville outscored 16-2 in the second quarter, and then they reverse it, go on a 17-4 run in the third quarter. And I'm just curious what happened at halftime. What did they talk about at halftime? But looking at the stats, like you said, Maya Garza, Janelle Kyneth, and Bailey Theobald, 7 points each. Allison Steeb, 6 points, and it's all season, Deckerville has been playing with a a short bench. They don't have a ton of girls on the varsity roster. So these girls have been getting major minutes all season. And to see them, come alive like that in, the biggest game of the season, I think it says a lot about the confidence that these players have and the confidence that they're able to play with because they've played so much this season. But yeah, like you said, Maya Garza, Janelle Kyneth, Bailey Theobald, Eddie.
So in that fourth period, Deckerville ended up extending their lead at the 6.5 minute mark.
Okay.
42-34, 8-point lead. 43-35 with some free throws. Again, Libby Tank contributes with free throws. She ended up shooting 6 points in the third period, too. 47-35 is the lead in the fourth quarter with 3.5 to go here. 48-35. You're feeling good right now. Clarkson Evers still fought back. They got 48-37. They got within 8, 48-40. But then some free throws. They were already in foul trouble with about 3 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Deckerville was going to the free throw line. And if you can make at least 50% of your free throws,
mm-hmm.
things are going to work out for you. And it did. Deckerville ended up going 50-40 with 2 minutes and 12 seconds, then leading 53-40. And then another 3-point shot was made by Clarkson Evers Collegiate, but it was 54-43 by then. But time was running out.
Yeah.
And a lot of free throws. 18 of 32 for free throws for Deckerville.
Wow.
In the game itself. There were 4 and 10 in the first. All those were taken by Maylee Tank.
Okay.
She had the majority of the free throws in this game. And there were 14 of 22 in the second half.
Wow.
6 of 15 for Clarkson Evers Collegiate free throws.
Wow.
So Deckerville was pretty good. Libby Tank ended up following out, but they gave the foul to the wrong girl, I think.
Okay.
So
okay.
She ended up fouling out in the fourth period. So Deckerville still survived without her.
Right.
And maintaining the lead here. Those 3 players with 7 points. The contributors, Maya Garza had 7 points. 7 points for Bailey Theobald. Also, we had 7 points for, I do believe it's Janelle Kyneth. She opened up the scoring for the Deckerville Eagles, too. You had 6 points also from Allison Steeb. Again, those are major role-playing contributing points. 19 points for Maylee Tank to lead, and I do believe 11 for Libby Tank.
Yeah, and when you take a closer look at the stats, Eddie, I'm kind of surprised to hear that Clarkson Everest had a size advantage over Deckerville.
Yeah.
Because Libby Tank had 12 rebounds, Maya Garza had 12 rebounds, Bailey Theobald had 12 rebounds, and Maylee Tank had 8 rebounds. 4 players combined for 44 rebounds. That's a good way to get to the free throw line when you're rebounding well.
They were making it difficult for the Mountaineers to get into the paint, especially on a low block. They made some shots. Mountaineers were able to drive into the paint, make some shots, but Decker was making it very difficult for them to penetrate.
Yeah, and I think another incredibly impressive stat, Maylee Tank, Libby Tank, and Maya Garza each had 5 assists. They combined for 15 assists. Yep. Garza also added 5 steals. So it's, Deckerville, they're at the point where it doesn't matter who's scoring. As long as somebody's scoring, it's not, there's no selfishness on the team. Obviously, Libby Tank is your best player. But she is able to take a back seat sometimes and let Maylee be the leading scorer or, have these other players contribute.
They beat a very good Clarkson Everest Collegiate team. My opinion, 12 points for Mary Groves, 11 points for Grace Donaldson. She had some threes in this game. 7 points for Alina Neiman, one of the top leading scorers. They kept her to 7. And Susan Nedwick with 6 points. 6 points for Celia Kraft, who ended up fouling out in the second half. All her points came in the first. She was a spark plug. 2 points for Mary McGrath and Nora Nedwick. Yeah, they are sisters in that team for the Mountaineers. Mountaineers are going to be back next year, I think.
Okay.
You might run into them again next year.
Right.
Very good coach there. Aaron Van Wagener, there for 17 years.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So Eddie, what are your thoughts about Deckerville Kingston? Can Deckerville do it?
They've shown that they can take the lead against them.
Yeah.
I think that they're one of the only teams that do that in the second half when they were leading 40-36.
Right.
But you can't be careless with the ball like they were in this one period. You give Kingston even a slither or an opening there, they're going to take advantage of it, and they did against Deckerville. And that
you pretty much have to play perfect against Kingston, and even if you do, you may not be able to beat them. But I do think the fact that they were with Kingston for 4 quarters in that last regular season game. I'm sure it's, going to be fresh in their minds. Hopefully, it gives them, hopefully they don't dwell on the fact that they lost to Kingston, but hopefully they focus on the fact that, hey, we almost beat Kingston. We know that we have the ability to do it. We just have to go out and play 4 quarters. But yeah, it's going to be a tough task. As we mentioned earlier, Kingston at another level right now. But I like what Deckerville's been doing too, defensively especially, and then, spreading the ball out offensively.
All right, so tune in for that game tomorrow, Wednesday, or after the replay you're listening now. Yeah, it'll be Wednesday, March 11th, 6:30 p.m. Myself and Paul Adams will be joining me once again for the Division IV Regional 32 Championship game, the rubber band matchup. Kingston took the first 2 in the regular season. Deckerville has another crack at him for the regional championship game. It'll be the Kingston Cardinals up against the Deckerville Eagles at Akron Fairgrove High School. Tune in on WTGV 97.7 FM. And if you can't tune it in because we're kind of low powered right now, we're getting a new transmitter, by the way. Big news.
Very nice.
You can stream it online at SandLakeBroadcasting.com. I will keep a close ear. I know we were shut down. My fault. Didn't pay attention.
Okay.
I will make sure we stay on for this big game on 97.7 or streaming online at SandLakeBroadcasting.com. Now, our other game coming up, and that was on last night, we're going to have a special guest here with us who was at that game. We're going to talk about Cass City Sandusky teams when we come back here on Thumb Sportsline. We'll be right back here on WMIC.
We interrupt this broadcast for a special graph weather statement.
Icy roads equal vehicle mishaps, and if this happens, you might as well take it to the #1 collision department in the area, Graf Chevrolet of Sandusky. Our body shop technicians are experienced and ready to tackle any body damage thrown their way. Whether it's collision or a deer hit, Graf can get the job done quickly and get you back on the road. Graf works well with all insurance companies and on all makes and models, so why would you go anywhere else? Stop in and see Tina or Zach at Graf Chevrolet's Body Shop in Sandusky for your no-obligation estimate.
We now return you to your regular scheduled program.
You asked and we listened. The Google Pixel has officially arrived at Thumb Cellular. The Google Pixel 10 and the Pixel 9a, both in sleek obsidian black, are now available at Thumb Cellular, and both at incredibly low prices. Pixel features the purest form of Android, built by Google and powered by Google. It's backed by an industry-leading 7 years of updates, so your phone stays smarter longer. Inside, you get the power of the Google Tensor chip and built-in Gemini AI, helping you take better photos, stay organized, and get more done every day. But that's not all. If you're looking for something else, Thumb Cellular is offering free phones with an upgrade or a new line activation. Terms and conditions apply. Stop by your local Thumb Cellular office in Bad Axe, Carroll, Pigeon, or Sandusky for full details. And browse all our current offers and savings by visiting thumbcellular.com/deals. That's thumbcellular.com/deals. Thumb Cellular, the talk of the thumb since 1991. You know, a lot has changed over the past 3 decades when it comes to the internet. Thankfully, those dial-up days are long behind us, but one thing has stayed consistent: AVS Broadband's commitment to keeping our Thumb communities connected. For 30 years, AVS Broadband has been the Thumb region's preferred provider of internet connectivity. From the days when going online required a dial tone to today's advanced fiber network, we've grown with our communities, along with the ways we work, connect, and play. And as technologies continue to advance, AVS Broadband is right in step, constantly investing in new technologies, expanding availability, and preparing for the future. This is all to provide you, our neighbors and customers, with the best Wi-Fi experience. The 30th anniversary celebration is just getting started, so follow along on the AVS Broadband Facebook page for special events, giveaways, and happenings. Not a customer? Let's change that. Visit avsbroadband.com or call us at 888-282-4932 to experience the local difference we provide. AVS Broadband, keeping you connected to what matters most.
Welcome back to WMIC's Thumb Sports Line. Tuesday, March 10th, 2026 edition. Almost about wrap things up, but we got more teams to talk about. Of particular, who are still playing in the MHSAA High School Girls Basketball Playoffs. Good luck to the Harbor Beach Pirates. About to get underway at the SC4 Fieldhouse in Port Huron at SC4 College, my alma mater, that I haven't graduated yet from.
Yeah.
So
I said, do you get to call them your alma mater if you haven't graduated from there?
We had this discussion before.
I've been asking for an honorary degree. So, yeah, I've called their state championship games for the college. I deserve something out of it. Well, anyway.
And he's clearly the most distinguished alumni.
Yes. That has not graduated yet.
Right.
Got my associates. All right. Lakeville, once again, into this regional. Enter the matchup. 7 straight games. Pretty good defense, holding their opponents under 40 points. A skip throw from you. From where you live in Columbiaville, right?
Yeah, like literally 2 minutes up the road from me.
That's Sean Cantwell, by the way. He is a producer, color, and the engineer for our WBGV. When I'm not with Jeremy, you're handling things. So
I'm the guy they call when they have too many other games going on and no one left to do them.
Yeah. And surprisingly, I knew this was going to happen. He is starting to know the numbers and the player teams without even look at a roster now here, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
So,
No, he's loving it. Yeah.
So, yeah. Pretty awesome. All right, so Lakeville was the first game last night at Burton Bendo High School. Have you been to that high school?
I have not. I've spent
cool,
a lot of time in that area, but never been to the high school.
That's pretty nice, isn't it?
It is.
The scoreboard in the bottom. They got
the
score all
big
the
old
way around.
Jumbotron. Gotta love that.
So Lakeville came in. They were 7 straight wins, one up against the Cassidy Redhawks, 18-5 overall now. But when you have the team at full strength, Skylar Ignash in the team, she led all scores with 27 points as Cass City defeated Otisville Lakeville Falcons 43-33 in the regional semifinals on Monday night, this past Monday night at Burton Bendo High School. She is a 2-year varsity starter. She started with 7 points in the first quarter. Cassidy holding a 12-5 lead. The Cassidy Redhawk girls holding a 9-point lead over Lakeville at the end of the first half with 6 points from senior Michaela Westendorf, who finished with 10 points in the game and created a little bit more wider gap in the third quarter behind Skylar Ignash as well. Cass City came into the game a little bit better size over the Lakeville Falcons. Skylar Ignash and also, yes, another Ignash, the younger sister, Carson Ignash. I think Skylar stands at 6'1".
Okay.
Right? The older sister took control in the third quarter, scoring 9 of Cass City's 13 points in that quarter. Carson did a lot of the rebounding here for Cass City. Something of note that Sandusky-Genesee, fear. Carson Ignash is taller by an inch.
Okay.
6'2".
Okay.
2 6-footers there out there on the floor. Had a team high 12 rebounds and 6 steals against Lakeville. Skylar Ignash, 7 rebounds and 5 steals. Cass City took a 35-20 lead in the fourth and appeared to close things out, but Lakeville did not give up. This is a strong team that we remember from last year. They went on a 13-0 run to make it 41-33 with just under 2 minutes remaining. But, you have a pretty good gap there. Cass City able to settle down as Skylar Ignash will end the comeback with some free throws. Steal, layup at the other end, make it 42-33 of under a minute remaining, and Cass City moves on as they'll meet up against the Sandusky Wolves, who Jeremy Burgess and Sean Cantwell were at, and Sandusky went up against the Genesee Wolves once again in the regional championship game. So you were at that game.
What a game it was.
Yeah, well, best player for Genesee Wolves and probably in that area.
Avery's in. It's not even a question.
Yeah.
But doesn't do a whole lot of good when you foul out in the third quarter and you're going through the fourth quarter without your main offensive player.
Wow, so she fouled out in the third.
Yeah.
The 4, okay.
And honestly, could argue it probably should have been sooner than that because she's aggressive on offense and throws a lot of forearms and things around. She knocked Brooke Weiling down quite a few times over the course of that one. And there were a couple where JB and I are looking at each other like, how's that not a foul on her? How is Zinn going to the line for this? There were a couple questionable calls. You could tell, the Genesee faithful there were not happy with the calls that were going against Zinn. I could argue that there probably should have been more. It should have been probably more that way because very physical, very just kind of taking some cheap shots and things.
Yeah, and so you're not the homer in this because you're a homer for Lakeville. So
yeah, if anywhere, yeah.
and I guess there's a lot of fans, from Genesee fans saying the opposite. So.
Okay. No, they are completely off base on that. You can't just go around and do what she was doing and expect that you're not going to get those calls against you. We were surprised that in the third that the calls were still kind of going their way by and large.
Yeah, still she's a player though.
She is. Oh, great player,
Yeah.
great player, great shooter. But here's the thing. Sandusky's defense was very good about keeping her contained. They were double, triple teaming her, like making her take forcing some kind of uncomfortable shots on her part that were not going in by and large. And Sandusky and Jeremy point this out, very good on getting those second, third chance shots. Like, they weren't giving up a lot of those to Genesee. Like, they were getting those rebounds when Zinn would take shots, but then they'd march down their end of the court, and they were getting their own rebounds, sometimes 2, 3 in a row. They weren't giving Genesee the opportunity to get the ball back. Turnovers, they were very good at limiting those and keeping those chances going. And, well, kind of shows up in the score at the end there. 44-27 final.
So, Avery Zinn, when she's like 90% of the offense, doesn't help as a team, does it? Not like how Sandusky does want to spread the ball out, play tougher defense. Their scores have been low scoring. They have a few games where they went over 50 here, Mike. But they try to really spread the ball out and be really stingy with the ball and take care of the ball.
Right.
Take care of the ball. So.
Right. Well, and for some context with Avery Zinn, coming into last night's game, she was averaging over 40 points per game. And for the first time all season, she was held under 20 points last night. She only scored 18 points, which her previous season low was 25 points against North Branch. As a team, 27 points is the lowest scoring output for Genesee all season.
That was 44-27 win for Sandusky over Genesee last night.
What the Sandusky defense has been doing is just incredibly impressive. And it started in the district. With the win over Brown City and Memphis, but it's just I can't explain why this defense is so good. But if you talk to Al DeMott, he'll tell you these girls just work. They work hard in practice. They work hard during the games, and they love playing defense, which is kind of a rare thing. But when you have a group of girls that want to play defense and want to be better and want to get good at it, and you pair that with a coach like Al DeMott who knows how to coach defense, this is what you get.
They're one of the best ball handling teams in the area.
Oh, that
right
too. Yes,
Kingston.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, they're not going to turn the ball over. They're not going to beat themselves. And if they have a lead late, there's a chance you might not get the ball back. We saw it on Friday night against Brown City. It was a 3-point game with a minute left, and Brown City didn't see the ball again.
Yeah, talk about that game. I mean, Sandusky, that we forgot to mention, won the district championship Friday night, but not by much.
We forget to mention it because it's another district championship for Sandusky.
Yeah, but it was close.
Deal. It was it was a great game. It was a great fourth quarter. Really, the difference was the first quarter. Sandusky set the tone, and it was Maggie Kyneth. She hit 3 3-pointers in the first quarter. That's your senior leader. That's your go-to player right there, and she came through. In the fourth quarter, what we've talked about with Brown City in the previous matchups with Sandusky, we finally saw it, Eddie, where, it can't just be Harley Leisure. It has to be Chloe Hayes. It has to be Maddie Thorley, Lacey Bruzy, and we saw it. It finally, it was all of them. They were all playing great basketball in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, they just ran out of time. It was a 3-point game with a minute to go. Harley Leisure fouls out. She fouls Caroline Ranke. She hits a free throw, and then that's the ball game. But I think, if there was another quarter to go, or if there was maybe 3 more minutes to play, I think Brown City had all of the momentum. I think they just ran out of time at the end.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of these top players now in the playoffs where they didn't foul out at all during the regular season. You're seeing they get 4 or fouling out now in the playoffs.
Well, and the thing with Leisure, I have to give her a ton of credit because she had 2 fouls right off the bat, and she never came out of the game. I mean, she had to play great defense all night in foul trouble, while also leading the team offensively. It was a great effort from her, great final performance out of her. She finishes her career with over 1,400 points for Brown City.
Nice.
Just a fantastic career for her. But
what would she be doing now after?
She will be going to play basketball at Spring Arbor University.
Okay.
She's actually going to the same college as Molly Walker.
Wow.
So,
look at that team up. That's a dream match, a dream team right there. So.
Yeah.
So what impressed you about that game? Brown City, especially, but Sandusky able to escape, you could say, because they did.
Mm-hmm.
They did, and the defense really just kind of carried it, like all the way. Like they were very good, especially at the end there. Like, a lot of teams probably would have been able to get a foul and get the ball back with some time left, but they were so good at keeping the ball away from Brown City there at the end and not allowing them to draw that foul that could have helped get Brown City back in there. Defense is just stellar for that team, and even really on both ends of the ball, you watch a player like Caroline Ranke who's just got such good vision on the field or on the court, and just really is so much the heart and soul of that team. Just you watch her out there like she's like kind of directing the other players and whatnot. It's just you can tell that she has a better feel for what's going on than a lot of players out there.
That's on the recap of the girls basketball team. When we come back after a quick break, we'll talk about the Sandusky Wolves here on WMIC Thumb Sportsline.
Hi, Todd Bowers here with More Motors of Carroll. Our selection of Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram is the best it's ever been. When you shop More Motors of Carroll for your next vehicle purchase, you get to experience car buying the way it should be. Fair, open, and honest. It's simple, yet so many other dealers, especially city dealers, can't follow through like we do. Come see me, Todd Bowers, at More Motors of Carroll, locally owned since 1965. Come see why your friends and neighbors are driving the Carroll.
Hello, radio listeners. This is Mike from More Motors. Here at More, unlike city dealers, we will not charge you a prep fee. What we care about here at More is giving you a great buying experience, and helping you pick the right vehicle is a big part of that. Here at Moore's, we constantly get vehicles in that aren't here long enough to advertise. So please call us and tell us exactly what you're looking for in case it's not in stock. Our staff is ready to take care of you before, during, and most importantly, after the sale.
Liberty Lanes and Sandusky salutes the area athletes for their accomplishments and academic achievements. On your way to or from the game, come on into Liberty Lanes for a pizza or one of the many tasty entrees on the menu. Enjoy their Friday fish specials and come back for the Sunday brunch. Liberty Lanes also has banquet facilities available. For information or to place an order to go, call 810-648-9860. That's 810-648-9860. Liberty Lanes, your family dining and bowling center in West Park, Sandusky. Serving you for more than 40 years. You can find Liberty Lanes on Facebook.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Tri-County Equipment is your premier farm supplier, providing John Deere products and services to farmers, homeowners, and landscapers from 11 locations across eastern and mid-Michigan. Tri-County Equipment has a complete line of John Deere tractors, cutters, and shredders, planting, seeding, and tillage tools, along with hay and forage equipment. They also have residential equipment like John Deere riding and walking mowers and compact utility tractors. At Tri-County Equipment, they don't just sell high-quality equipment, they also provide factory-trained personnel who can help with service and answer questions about equipment use. Tri-County Equipment, locations in Sandusky, Marlette, Lapeer, Burton, Bad Axe, Carroll, Fenton, Birch Run, Saginaw, Reese, and Auburn Hills. Visit them online at TriCountyEquipment.com.
Tri-County Equipment, we got it all.
Celebrating over 50 years on the air, this is AM 660 WMIC Sandusky and 95.3 FM W237EQ Sandusky.
Welcome back to WMIC's Thumb Sports Line. Left off talking about the Cassidy Red Hawk girls basketball team and their win over Lakeville to get to the regional championship game against Sandusky. So, moving back to after that win over Brown City in that district championship game, how many district championships is that now for Sandusky? Did you add that up yet?
So since 1985, that was Aldamat's first district championship was 1985. It took him a couple years to get it going.
Yeah.
That is his 32nd district championship. Over the past 25 years, they have won 20 district titles.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, the most right now.
They've won 5 straight, which sounds not as impressive now that I've said the other stuff.
Yeah.
But they have won 5 straight districts.
Yeah.
They've won 3 straight regionals, and it's something that I think we need to appreciate because obviously Aldamat has had a legendary career. We can go on and on and on about that. But we're seeing this program go through one of its best runs during Aldamat's time there. 3 straight regional championships. You know, they're winning 20 games a season. Like, it's no big deal. And, you know, it's even more impressive this season because they just have 2 seniors. Now, they're 2 humongous seniors in Maggie Kyneth and Brooke Wendling. And you could say that Caroline Ranke is another senior out there, essentially. But it's been really great to see Sandusky be able to continue this success. And when I talked to Al after the Brown City game, I said, you know, it's got to be hard for the girls because of the expectations that people have for Sandusky basketball. Mm-hmm. And he said, you know, it kind of goes both ways because, you know, it can be tough on the girls because people expect Sandusky to win a district title. They expect them to go to the regional finals. They expect them to win a conference title. And, you know, it could be pressure for the girls, but it could also be motivation for the girls, and that's what they've used it as this season. So I hope they can keep it going against Cass City.
So the Genesee was trailing Sandusky 32-24. Genesee though had a third quarter comeback after trailing by 15 points at the half. But this is where you said Zen does foul out in the third quarter?
Yeah, it was very late in the third quarter, and once she fouled out, I mean, Genesee only scored 3 points the rest of the way.
Yeah, because she got within 6 points of Sandusky.
Correct.
Against Sandusky.
And she was responsible for almost all, like, the entire first quarter, I think she had all of the points for Genesee. Like, that's a team, like, it's night and day. Like, they don't look like the same basketball team once she fouled out of there.
So the win there for Sandusky, Sandusky defeated Genesee last year. That took place at Cass City High School, 70-52. Cass City was eliminated. Kind of, you know, they kind of looked past a team there. I think it was Harbor Beach.
I
beat them last year.
Yep. Harbor Beach beat Cass City in the districts last season. Yeah.
Yeah. So for Sandusky, Junior Riley Moore scored 8 of her team high 10 points in the second quarter. That helped Sandusky into the half, 26-11. Caroline Renke, sophomore Emma Merriman, who are going to be very important on your bigs against Ignatius, had each 8 points in the win. Again, those role player points, those add up. 16 points right there.
Right.
For the Sandusky Wolves. Avery Zen had 24 points. Remember, the team scored 27.
Yeah.
So
it's a very balanced offense for Sandusky. Like, they were rotating players in and out all night, so no one really had the chance to get into foul trouble, which certainly helps a lot. Like, you're getting looks at a lot of players that you probably wouldn't normally see. So, like, no one's, like, really leading the team outright and scoring, like, even the players that you normally expect to be, like, you know, like we talked about, Renke was leading the team in points, I believe, on average during the regular season. Like, that hasn't been the case here, but that hasn't mattered.
All right, so looking back also with Cass City Redhawks there preparing for the big regional championship game that Sean Cantwell here and Jeremy Burgess will be calling on WBGV 92.1 FM. Sandusky is 23-1, just one low loss against the Yale Bulldog girls. And, well, they met Sandusky at the end of the regular season where Sandusky won over Cass City 49-32. And they last went head-to-head in the playoffs a couple seasons ago in the regional semifinals where Cass City lost 42-25. Cass City met Sandusky for 3 consecutive seasons in the regionals from 2022 to 2024. So a lot of history between these two teams. Cass City lost all 3 matchups against Sandusky. So they've got to go here tomorrow night against Sandusky.
Yeah, they'd like to change the history here, but if Sandusky's defense is able to contain Skylar Ignash the way that, they contained Zinn on Monday night, you know, Sandusky's got pretty good odds here.
Did you get a chance to see some of Cass City's game?
A little bit, very little bit, like the last quarter of the game.
Okay. So you got, you're going to be educated again with another team.
It happens every week, man.
Any notes on this big matchup? I think that, you know, Sandusky, I mean, Sunday's going to be ready because Cass City has a goal here. They lost out in the white division title that should have been theirs. But now they have a chance here. They won a district title. Why not beat one of the best teams in the area for a regional championship?
Right. I think it's going to come down to what Riley Moore and Cora Arbaugh can do defensively, because when Sandusky played Cass City the first time around during the regular season, they didn't have to match up with the Ignash girls. And obviously they create mismatches. But Riley Moore and Cora Arbaugh, they have grown so much this season. And as you mentioned, Riley Moore was the leading scorer last night. And they're both fantastic players. It's just going to come down to, are they ready for this moment? Are they going to be able to rise to the occasion? Because I think we know what to expect from Caroline Reinke. We know Maggie Kyneth is going to hit some big three-pointers. Yeah. We know Brooke Wendling's going to be the toughest player on the court.
Point guard.
Yeah. And we know Sandusky's going to play some great defense. But the unknown variable is what the Ignash girls bring to this Cass City team and how they match up with Sandusky.
All right, so it should be you forget how exciting this can be when you get to a regional championship game. The best teams show up now.
Right.
This is where the best teams are, and the next step is the quarterfinals. We'll see which teams make it to the quarterfinals. We know that the Thumb Sports Media and Writers Association group has a team going to the quarterfinals regardless next week.
Yes.
Who will it be? Tune in tomorrow. On Wednesday, we got them all covered. Cass City, Sandusky on WBGV 92.5 FM. It starts at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. And then I'll have the Kingston-Deckerville game. Sean Cantwell and Jeremy Burgess will cover the 92.5 Cass City Sandusky game.
Fantastic.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, have fun with that one. And me too. Myself and Paul Adams will be there. You'll be making out to the...
I'm going to split myself in half tomorrow, and I'm going to be going to Burton and Akron Fairgrove.
You are? How are you going to pull that off?
Let me know how that works out for you, Mike.
Yeah, you got a helicopter chartered or something? Or?
No, I think I'm going to have to call in a favor with Paul Adams to see if he can help me out with that game. And I'll be probably making the trip to Burton Bendel.
Well, I know Scotty B might be there, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true too.
That's true.
We do have this.
We got lots of friends.
Yes,
that
we do have the. We have
the.
No, actually, we have the Thumb Sports Writers Association out there, so we are all working together when it gets to this point. So
absolutely.
So you're saying I might need to bring an extra mic out there tomorrow night is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Why not?
And by the way, we have a big sports meeting tomorrow, so we'll let you know in a couple weeks how that works out.
Okay.
Sooner or later, but we got the big meeting tomorrow for our basketball. First and
and I was going to grill you, Eddie. I was going to put you on the spot.
Yeah?
I was going to make you reveal your votes a day early. But
votes for what?
For everything. Who's your player of the year?
Oh man, well, I'm still working on that stuff.
Okay.
Everybody's got a pretty good clue who it is,
right?
So
for girls basketball, at least.
Boys, it's a little tough, man.
For boys basketball, we've been talking about it in the TSA for the past month. Trying to figure out who's going to be our player of the year. I think we have a great short list. Obviously, Molly Walker is going to be our unanimous girls player of the year.
30+ points average.
You can't
over 20-something points
with that.
Yeah,
but
she's trying to get to 2,000 point herself right now.
Yes,
she's not too far away.
How far away is she? Like
20-something-ish?
A couple games, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe one game at the pace she's currently at.
Yeah.
Wow, if you could break that tomorrow night, that would be
that'd be pretty awesome to see. So. You wanted to bring
hopefully she doesn't break it tomorrow.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
I love all the teams. All the teams are playing right now. I love all those teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Big fan. So
Eddie, let me run down these names for you and just who stands out right off the bat for TSA boys basketball player of the year.
Okay.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names for you.
Okay.
Benson Harper, Harbor Beach.
Obvious.
Colin Franzel, Ubley.
Oh, had a good season.
Yes, he did. Connor McGarry, Caro. Thomas West, Peck.
He's just a complete player now.
The leading scorer in Sanilac County.
Complete player overall, too.
Caden Caribou, Lakers.
Okay. Oh, yeah, man.
The white champions.
Yeah. Who were eliminated by Cass City.
Correct.
In the districts.
Yes. Justin Jacobs, USA, and Max Knoll, Croslex.
Wow, I forgot about Max Knoll.
What a list.
Yeah,
and we're all going to have to figure out which one of those players is the best tomorrow.
It's going to be tough.
The nice thing is you can't go wrong. Whatever we decide, I don't think is going to be a wrong decision. But
now, Sean, I hope someday you get to see a Blue Water Area Conference boys game, because that is like watching college.
Really?
You're going in, you're switching out players every minute or two here. A lot of things are happening where a team could be down by 10 points and then within 2 minutes, boom, they take the lead by 12.
Right.
I mean,
well, if you keep me doing this long enough, I imagine it'll happen eventually.
Yeah. Are you falling in love with this now. So
Maybe a bit.
a little bit, yeah. I know football's the king, though. So yeah, so
It really, truly is.
anything else here?
I think that's about it, Eddie.
Yeah. All right, we already
Let's
in
cover some
overtime.
basketball, yeah.
All right, yeah, we got basketball games tomorrow. Good luck to the Harbor Beach Pirates tonight. They're underway right now at SC4, taking on Arts Tech Academy of Pontiac.
Yeah.
So good luck
Flip
to them.
over to 102.1 if you want to listen to that one.
WLW Sports 102.1, and they stream online as well. So check that game out. Right on the way. If not, this is the replay, of course, you're listening to.
Yes.
Tune into our games tomorrow. Deckerville, Kingston on WTGV 97.7 FM for high school girls basketball. Division 4 Regional 32 Championship live from Akron Fairfield High School. And tomorrow also on WBGV 92.5, it is the Sandusky Wolves up against the Cass City Redhawks. Pre-game coverage tomorrow, Wednesday, March 11th, 6:30 p.m. Both games will stream online at sandlakebroadcasting.com. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Edward.
Thank you, fans of Thumb Sportsline.